Welcome to my hike across Switzerland on the Swiss Panoramic Trail. Sometimes it is too good to be true. Look at kitty cat. An Alphouse is a restaurant. Look at all these cowbells. We are in Heiden. We're in Heiden. The church bell just rang noon. This is the town square. Alright, we are in the town of Heiden. This is the town square, and the clock just struck noon. Boy. You know, I'm going to say boy a lot, and lots of exclamations, because some of the sights and sounds are pretty much worth it. So Heiden goes back a couple of centuries, and because of its situations, a little bit of a plateau overlooking the Bodden Sea, and certainly here well inland, for some reason this has become a spa and alternative medicine type of location. So a lot of people come here for a break and rejuvenation. Here comes one now with that siren. Now, I went into a shop over here and I got a quiche. So we're in cheese area and farming area. So I felt eggs and cheese were in order. I walk into the shop and was overwhelmed with the smell of cheese and eggs. And you know, it's just something, the 360 video, which will be coming every single day, can't get that smell. And I wish it could. And the quiche is here. I'm going to sit down and eat it in just a little bit, and I'm really looking forward to it. Hi. I am high above the town of Heiden. I'm halfway, well, I wouldn't say halfway, but I'm somewhere between Heiden and Trogen. And use your 360-degree controls. Just take a spin around here. It's so nice to have 360-degree video. You can see everything from the barn to the left of me, to the Alps of Liechtenstein to the right of me. A little bit farther to the north are the Alps of Austria, and a little farther to the north of that is the Bodden Sea, which can barely be seen, in Germany. So we got 4 countries in sight here. And we're going to do some eating. And these are the pastures that the cows are grazing on. And there's a lot of good food here for them. This barn behind me, well, it smells like cow, first of all. It looks like they've got a cow cleaner, so it looks almost like a spinning brush that you'd see in a car wash. So Heiden has a lot of really neat little shops, and one was an organic shop. One of the things I do, I may have mentioned that I spend a little more than half of the year in the United States and a little less than half of the year here in Switzerland, and so I'm part of a second hiking channel. This is SwissCheeseTrails.com. Find us and subscribe on YouTube, Swiss Cheese Trails. The other channel that I'm a part of is with my 25-year-old son, called Hike 360 VR. We also do 360-degree videos of hikes around mostly the Midwest, the United States, but we get into the mountains a little bit as well. And he is a vegan. Head on over to Hike 360 VR on YouTube and subscribe to that channel as well. So one of the things that I do when I'm in the States, I bake fresh bread, and I don't have to do that here because all the stores bake their own fresh bread every day. In the United States, the bread is questionable at best. And if I were to have a political stance against food products in the United States, it might start with bread, where we put corn syrup in our bread and then give it to our children. So not a big fan of that. So I started making my own. And as it turns out, it makes really good sandwiches, grilled cheeses, French toast. It's pretty good for a lot of things. And over on the Hike 360 VR channel, we have been working through the year with peanut butter and jellies, and we've been landing on sunflower butter instead of peanut butter, and we've been going through different jellies that we can get. And sometimes I do a little cheating. I bring some things from Switzerland that can't possibly be replicated so well over in the United States. And so today I was able to find pure vegan labeled. This is raspberry and rhubarb, which we can get in the States, but I wanted to give it a try. A little raspberry and rhubarb. And then this one is an unknown fruit, sandarn. Anyway, I'll have to look this up to find out what it is. It may be the gooseberry that we have so many different conversations about. So if you're watching the Hike 360 channel, you know that we have a lot of gooseberry and a lot of rhubarb in our PB&Js, and they're pretty good. So Ryan, shout out. These are coming home if I'm not already back in the States, and we're enjoying these, then it'll be soon. So that's my shout out to Hike 360 for this hike. And meanwhile, we are Swiss Cheese Trails, and next to my jellies I have that quiche that I got in town. And I've been carrying it up here. I'm something like 1,000 feet in altitude above the town of Heiden. It's been a quick walk. So let's try this quiche. I love going into stores, and I find it best to let them kind of dictate how best to eat the food that they serve. In this case, they asked if I wanted heated. I thought, why not? Sure. And they spent about 5 minutes heating it. And I was getting very antsy, and I kept holding myself back from asking them to just take it out of the oven. It's good enough, because I'm not going to eat it right away. Nonetheless, here we are. Let's give it a go. So this is a vegetarian quiche, and I don't eat a lot of quiche. This is pretty good. You would assume that. Definitely can taste the cheese. I mean, they're certainly using local cheese. They got onions in here. One of the things that I will cover, sorry for looking down and eating, but one of the things I will cover is in Bern, the last Monday of November in Bern is the annual Onion Festival. And the annual Onion Festival goes back something like 300 or 400 years. And the streets are filled with vendors selling onions. Now, a lot of the onions are pretty much the same booth by booth, but occasionally you'll get some French onion soup or some quiche or some other onion type dish. Weirdly enough, they have French bread with garlic on there. They sell a lot of garlic there as well at the Onion Festival. I've been there twice, 2 different years, and just really enjoyed myself. So onions are an interesting thing. There's an onion trade here in Switzerland. So I assume the onions are pretty darn good as well. Well, I'm kind of done talking. I'm ready to do some eating. And next stop is up this hill here. Hopefully we'll actually get a view of the tops of Hayden, and I assume I'm just heading in this direction a little longer. It is really neat. Again, you know, spin around and I'll help when I edit this, but those snowy peaks over there, it's a beautiful view. Thanks for tuning in today. Tune in tomorrow, subscribe to the channel.